Hello friends! In this video you'll see how heavy actors of the TV series Knots Landing 1979-1993 changed. You'll know their real names and age. I will show you how they looked then and what's with them now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Karen Mackenzie became Mac's first spouse. She can be compassionate, willing to help and even raise a child of friends. Karen doesn't like to be lied or broken promises and tends to interfere heavily in her daughter's personal life. Played by Michelle Lee. Gregory Sumner was Laura's lover and also the father of their daughter Meg. He's able to be clear about what he can do and what he can handle, and losing a loved one can be hard for him. Played by William Devane. Gary Ewing, Ted Shackelford, is Valini's lover for whom she has strong feelings, but still tends to get involved in other women time after time. He knows how to run a business, but too much responsibility can weigh him down. Had a strong addiction to alcohol. M. Patrick Mackenzie is listed as a federal prosecutor and is Karen's lover. He tries to be faithful to his wife and make the right decisions. Justice is paramount to him, played by Kevin Dobson, who passed away in 2020 from autoimmune failure. Abby Ewing is the mother to Olivia and Ryan. She has often used men for her own ends, is quite manipulative and can handle other people's money. Abby likes to control her daughter's life and is often involved in illegal scams. The role was played by Donna Mills. Lily Mae Clements, mother of Valini and Joshua. For most of her life, she put a career as a singer in the foreground and had little involvement in her children's lives. May be observant, played by Julie Harris, who died of congestive heart failure in 2013. Olivia Cunningham is the daughter of Abby and the sister of Brian. She is used to living a prosperous life, but is not prone to betrayal and using people for her own purposes. Olivia had a drug addiction, but successfully got rid of it. Played by Tonya Crow. Ben Gibson, Doug Sheehan, was married to Valini and also worked as a journalist and was often sent out to shoot reports in various parts of the country and not always safely. He is a shrewd and always tends to often set his own conditions in a relationship. Michael Fairgate was the youngest child of Karen Mackenzie and was in a relationship with Linda. He is quite good-natured, not prone to showing arrogance and going over people's heads. Michael sometimes doesn't see the obvious things. Played by Pat Patterson. Jill Bennett was a prosecutor and for a time worked in a couple with Patrick Mackenzie, for whom she had brief romantic feelings. She can be obsessive in her attraction to a man and do cruel things in the process. The role was performed by Terry Austin. Laura Avery, Constance McCashin, was in a relationship with Richard and married Gregory Sumner. She has a strong character and although she's primarily concerned with home and family, has had considerable success in her work, always trying to be needed. Eric Fairgate is related to Michael and Diana and was also married to Linda. He is a fairly educated man and has been a college professor for some period. Knows how to compromise and forgive. Played by Steve Shaw, who was killed in a car accident in 1990. Kathy Geary is married to Joshua Rush. She is a harmless girl who may have doubts about some things, but still believes in the best. Kathy is feminine and has a beautiful singing voice, which she plans to make a pretty good career out of. Played by Liza Hartman. Diana Fairgate is the older sister of Michael and is also closely related to Karen. She was romantically involved with Tony Fennis, for whose sake she was willing to have trouble with the police. Had serious kidney problems. She was played by Claudia Lono. Richard Avery is the husband of Laura, with whom they have had two sons, Jason and Daniel. He's quite good at law, but he has felt more fulfilled since he opened his own restaurant, Daniel. Not too good at coping with adversity. He was played by John Plesher. Ginger Ward is Erin's mother and is also married to Kenny. She doesn't tolerate cheating, but can forgive and continue the relationship if the person is willing to change. She knows how to approach children, often wears a heart necklace, played by Kim Langford. Julie Williams is the only daughter of Frank and Patricia and lives next door to Valini. She sincerely loves her parents and is even ready to avenge them, though she is quite good-natured, able to get along with children. The role was played by Kent King. Claudia Whitaker is related to Gregory Sumner. She has a tendency to lie, can be mean even to her loved ones, and her actions also led to the deaths of two of her blood relatives. Claudia has an interest in anthropology. She was portrayed by Kathleen Noon. Linda Fairgate was Eric's wife, but later became engaged to his brother Michael. She was a good girl, concerned about community and environmental issues, but changed and became more narcissistic, greedy for money, and manipulative. Played by Lar Park Lincoln. Virginia Bullock is Valini's own aunt. She knows how to support and tries to cheer up and find the right words in a difficult situation. Played by Betsy Palmer, who died of natural causes in 2015. Kenny Ward is married to Ginger, with whom their daughter Erin was born. He could be charming, not very faithful, and could break a promise, but he was able to become more mature and conscious with the onset of his fatherhood. The role was played by James Houghton. Joshua Rock is the only son of Jonathan and Lily Mae Clements and was also married to Kathy Geary. He has psychological problems, was a control freak, and could be quite testy. Joshua also often resorted to manipulating others. He was played by Alec Baldwin. Johnny Rourke, Peter Rakel, is originally from Ireland and was briefly in a relationship with Paige Matheson. He is an attractive man who can behave quite seductively, but is also capable of showing cunning. Sometimes prefers to wear suspenders on his pants. Ted Melcher, Robert Desiderio, worked for Abby, organizing and participating in meetings as well as running various errands, sometimes illegal. He mostly walks around in a suit, but prefers not to wear a tie. Ted is left-handed and wears a watch on his right hand. Steve Brewer does photography for a living and often takes several cameras with him, including a Nikon. He mostly likes to walk around in jeans and a few loose sweaters. Steve is quite tall and has curly hair. Has shown interest in Kate, played by Lance Guest. Pierce Lawton, Bruce Greenwood, had a love affair with Paige. He can be quite passionate and kind, but at the same time he can become an unpredictable and dangerous type. Pierce has some psychological problems, on the basis of which he organized the kidnapping. Joseph Barringer dated Kate Whitaker for a while, but had no real strong feelings for her and easily traded her in for a more prestigious job. Joseph can react rather violently at some points. He prefers to wear a watch on his left wrist, played by Mark Soper. Victoria Bryard was in a relationship with Pierce Lawton for a while. She can be vindictive and quite capable of substituting a person to please herself. Sometimes she likes to wear layered beads and clothes in bright colors. She was portrayed by Marcia Cross. Anne Matheson is Paige's parent. She's not a very good mother and is more interested in her own private life and social gatherings. Anne is quite capable of pulling off a scam to boost her wealth and is also prone to blackmail. Paige Matheson, Nicolette Sheridan, is the native daughter of Meg and Anne. She hasn't had much luck in love affairs, but she has had really strong feelings only for Gregory. She's not stupid, quite adventurous. Likes to put on red lipstick once in a while. Valeni Ewing is the lover of Gary, by whom she has had 3 children. She has the ability to endure a hardship, even when it comes to her life, but still fears death. Valeni can be tenacious, especially when it comes to her children. Played by Joan Van Ark. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please share it on social networks, like it, and of course subscribe to the channel.